Welcome back, everybody. It's time for our second best of three of today. It is going to be Birdgang up against MVP Phoenix, a best of three winner bracket final. I'm Gods from Beyond the Summit. I'm not alone for this match. I am going to be joined once again by my fellow Aussie. It's going to be Basekip. How are we, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to this game. These two teams showed... They had a showdown like a couple days ago on the last KDL match, which MVP Phoenix won 2-0. And they're going to go at it again. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, it should be a very good match. These are two teams, or just a bunch of players that have been floating around in the Korean scene since the very beginning, and have pretty much always been on some of the top teams. I mean, Birdgang have stuck together as this roster, or at least the bulk of this roster for quite a while now. So should be a really good one. And this is looking like a lot more of a standard Southeast Asian draft, I would say. And I know that both of these teams, or at least MVP Phoenix, do scrim on Singapore fairly heavily and against some of the odds teams as well.
These are kind of like your step up as far as like the Korean teams go. I mean, the teams we saw MVP Hot Six as well as Monkey Spanner, like they played some kind of sloppy Dota. They made some kind of questionable decisions. But teams like MVP Phoenix and Birdgang, they make the solid decisions. They can actually go toe-to-toe with some of your Southeast Asian teams. I mean, historically and just over the past year or so, the Southeast Asian teams have gotten the best of them, but they can at least hold their own, generally speaking, against them.
Yeah, I think they have reasonable records for the most part. It's probably just, it's less than 50%, but still taking games here and there. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing this game. I guess also worth pointing out that there's some players in this match that have shuffled around teams quite a bit. March, Kyo, so Kimchi as I'll call him, and Febi. Obviously, we're all part of FXO and then FOU in the early stages of the Korean scene. So we've had some shuffling going on as well to get to this point. And I think all the players in this game were going to be very familiar with another. We had some back and forth in the lobby before the game as well with, I think it was somebody claiming this is going to be the first time that they'll beat MP mid. So
I think that was
we'll see if that happens. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They've been making the big calls and shots fired at Kyo. So he has a lot of faith in his teammate MP. But, I mean, considering MVP won their last matchup 2-0 in a best of three, MVP definitely, going into this series, will be feeling pretty confident, I would say.
Yeah, and both teams now are just going to take a pause at the most important stage of the draft. You've locked in your early picks. Yeah. This is where all the variation happens. This is where you get caught by not having any further bans. And this is where you have to think, okay, I'm going to do this. And this is what I think the other captain is going to do. This is the direction that I think he's moving his draft in. So this is probably the most interesting part to see here. And we are going to have a disruptor pick from MVP Phoenix. And this is one of the few reasons that I think that the Batrider isn't really first pick, first ban worthy. Well, I think you can still leave him through. You don't have to you don't have to ban him in the first four, and that's largely because there's a whole bunch of ways to deal with him. You can pick a VS, you can pick a Nyx Assassin, you can pick an Abaddon, which you don't really see that much. You can pick a Disruptor, you can pick just general instant stuns and counter initiate. So, at least from my perspective, first pick Batrider makes sense, but also easy to deal with, and it's always easy to find. To slot one of those support picks into your lineup. You're never going to be like, oh no, we have to pick, we can't fit the Vengeful Spirit in. You can always, substitute one of the other heroes instead. So, yeah, just going back to the Batrider rant for a second.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Like, there are heroes, like, even supports like Disruptor who can just cope with him pretty well. Unless you start really snowballing out of control. And MVP Phoenix have a lineup which can just play kind of conservative, look for an early Roshan with the Lycan plus Shadow Shaman. They've got a number of options available to them, and Birdgang go into the big bad axe. We've seen 3 games, 3 axe picks here today.
What is up with all of the axe? Like, we see him from time to time
as well.
Yeah, we see him from time to time in Europe. I think we've seen like Ake play it once recently, and then I think Bulba played it once recently as well, and that's about it as far as I can remember as across the Western scene, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, 3 games, 3 axe picks. So, well, there you go.
unexpected to say the least. But hey, it seems to be a changing picks in the Korean scene at least. They're finding stuff that they play well with, and it does synergize absolutely fantastic with the Dazzle. And it's something which you can put in the offlane. There's so many good 1v1 solo heroes for the safe lane. Like we've seen heroes like Klink's being used by Monkey Spanner. You can go any other direction like the Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet actually not picked or banned just yet, which is somewhat unusual. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing too crazy. And are these last two picks going to be our solo mid matchup? The MP versus Kimchi matchup for mid?
Yeah, I would guess so. Looks like it should be. There's some potential variations, obviously, with shuffling the Slark around, shuffling the Batrider around, getting better matchups. But I would expect this to be human picks, and nothing too surprising to leave the mid until last. But okay, Birdgang actually gonna go for a Doom here, so they don't have a hell of a lot of late game, in all honesty, especially with the Axe pick. But it can always be, your Arcane's fast mech Doom, and they can get some 5-manning and some pushing going, which I think could work very well for them against the lineup that MVP Phoenix have, because they're split pushy with the Lycan, pushy with the Shadow Shaman, pick off with the Slark, but teamfight is largely in the hands of the Disruptor.
Yeah, and I think they could almost run into the problem we saw last game for MVP Hot 6, where they just don't have enough damage output, though. I think their 5-man is going to be strong, and they're going to have to 5-man really damn hard at MVP Phoenix, because otherwise, MVP Phoenix, they scale much better the late game. If MVP Phoenix get the space to split push, to take Roshan, this game drags on. Suddenly, Birdgang don't really have any late game options to actually win the game. Like, they don't have much good pushing or damage output, and that's definitely a big weakness in their lineup right now.
Yeah, I think there was another post I saw recently which was like analysis of win rates of the Radiant and Dire as a function of time. And there's this really crucial window between like 20 and 30 minutes where the Radiant has, I think, like a 52, something above 50% as their win rate. And then it swings back between sort of 40 and 60 minutes to the Dire, where Roshan becomes super, super relevant. And then it sort of goes back to the Radiant in the ultra late game. But it does go to show that the Dire are much more susceptible to being pushed. The Radiant are quite a bit more defensive on the whole, and so that makes it easier for you to force down towers and still hold on to your own, get that little bit of an early gold lead, and then just snowball the rest of the game out. I think we've seen a lot of games where the Radiant pick up like tier 1, tier 2 on the safe lane with no response. That gold gets them a fast mech on whatever their mech carrying core is, and they can just snowball from there. But generally, if the Dire manage to hold on, then Roshan tides them over to the mid game. So I thought that was interesting, but got to put some thought into
general,
it as well.
Radiant has a fairly significantly more, like a 51 to 52% win rate on this current pad.
It's definitely the higher win rate overall.
Yeah, and there's a number of reasons that contribute to that. I mean, safer mid lane, better off lane, better jungle as well. So Dire pretty much just have Roshan going their way. I think that's a big thing for them, but we'll get ourselves into this game now. It's going to be Birdgang over on the Radiant side. They're going for that offensive trial lane with the Axe, Dazzle, and Rubik. We'll have 10 Bird on the Rubik, Jiu on the Dazzle, and we've got Sky playing the Axe over in the mid lane for Birdgang. We're going to have MP, the solo mid extraordinaire, playing the Batrider, and then finally Febby on a safe lane farming Doom at the bottom lane.
And meanwhile, for MVP, up on top, we've got MVP March handling the Lycan. Heen is going to be over on the Shadow Shaman. We've got Risen on the Disruptor. QO, or as I'm probably going to end up calling him a whole lot, Roasted Kimchi, is on the Mirana. That's his old tag from when he played in Oz, and I don't know, I keep using it, so that's my bad. But and Forev is going to be on the Slark.
As if I wasn't slippery enough.
Man, how far has Kimchi come? Like, he was like stomping Oz pubs to being #1 team in Korea practically. Maybe, I mean, #1 Korean team. Like, Zephyr's not really a Korean team. They're a Western team in Korea, but MVP's like a proper Korean team.
Yeah, I remember some action going on. 10 Bird.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
They brought Slark here. Slark is not in the offlane here. They get the level 1 Grave off here. That first blood going to go to MVP. It looks like they're going to get 2 as well. Raisin just needs one more right click. He'll find 10 Bird. Disaster strikes at top lane. This was all come from the Slark. He didn't go to the offlane. He started up at top, and he may get a 3rd kill as well. Jeyu's in trouble. He's got to pounce in 1 second. Jeyu's going to go down as well. Nicely played here. 4-Rev with a double kill. Now he TP's bottom. He's got poor man shield, boots, TP's bottom, and he has just won his team the top lane.
What a disaster. And that just... I mean, we've been seeing less aggressive tri lanes recently because they're risky, and the axe completely gives away that you're going for the aggro tri. But that's pretty much tri lane over at this point.
Thunderstruck does so much damage now at level 1. Like, that's one of the big things there where that just straight up failed.
Yeah, and the Howl as well. They had 4 heroes with Howl beating away on the Birdgang heroes.
That was just a losing recipe. I'm surprised they committed to that one, Birdgang. And at this point, like, how do you recover from something like that? I don't know.
I think you just have to sort of stay up here, try and get your levels. They can't really go aggressive. They've got a pointing grave, they've got lift, and that's about it, right? Spin has to do all of the damage for now, but they're going to continue to be quite aggressive here. I don't think it's going to work out. They're going to have to shift to going on the back foot, start running some smokes on these supports, maybe try and shuffle to the other lanes, because I really don't think that sticking around here for a long time is really going to work out for them. We'll see, though. Maybe MVP could slip up.
Yeah, they could almost leave Axe here just like as a traditional offlaner. Like, he's got boot, stout shield. He can stay alive okay against this lane. At least maybe look towards, like, Rubik. Like, Rubik could rotate mid, maybe look for a kill once Batrider hits level 6, but even that's tricky to do. So, for now, we'll see exactly what the plan is. Jeyu, he's taken damage here, and he hasn't actually got the Shadow Wave just yet. He hits level 2 now, so now we look at the heal as an available option for Birdgang in the top lane. But they're just already playing on the defensive here, so this is not what they want to be doing.
Yeah, and if you check bottom lane as well, 4F's positioning, he's just in the middle of the creep wave. Febby can't come in at all. You can't trade hits against the Slark. You get your stats stolen, you've got, 1 base armor. Well, negative base armor, and then your Agi brings it up a bit. So, Doom's in for a hard time. Mid lane's going all right. A bit of a farm lead in favor of the Batrider, but I don't think that's too concerning. And top lane's going great for MVP, so things are looking good.
I almost want to just use this Lycan Howl a bit more liberally, just to help the Mirana last hit at mid, help the Slark at bottom lane. I'm surprised March isn't just kind of spamming the Howl a bit more. Sure, it's got a 50-second cooldown, and they maybe want it for an engagement top lane, but it just helps out your 2 solos so much, having like plus 20 damage for a short period of time.
Yeah, and it's really cheap as well. Glimpse back.
Oh, no, they're not going to commit to this. MVP realized this is where, like, sure, they gave away 3 kills at level 1, but now that's just a tri-lane versus tri-lane. Lycan isn't going to offer a whole lot. Like, he's got the level 2 Wolves now and the 1 point in Howl, but now that we've got a level 2 Dazzle, level 2 Rubik, they're also about to hit level 3. That's when they're going to be able to actually somewhat fight this lane. Sky picks up a 2nd point in counter Helix, and he's a lot scarier now in this top lane.
Yeah, but this isn't so unlike the last game, and that was with the Axe dominating the early game, picking up, the 2 towers. They got turned around on a little bit when they pushed into that tier 2 top, but in general they were winning up until this point, and now they're even and heading into the mid game. And Axe is similar to Enchantress, I think, in a lot of ways, where you need that early game momentum, you need those early game tier 1 towers to really justify the hero being on your lineup. So and Sky in tower range.
Under the tower.
That's
He may glimpse back under the tower again. He may stay alive here with the Dazzle. The Shadow Wave, the Grave is there, and they're going to look to get a few more right clicks off. They're not going to quite be able to damage him down here. Poison Touch goes out on He needs to be careful. Couple right clicks could spell his doom, but Jeyu taking the tower. Careful, son. Careful. Well, Sky picks up a Ring of Regen, another heal coming out, so looks like he wants to stay top. He's not going to go back to heal up. He really wants to just stick it out with his top lane. And that was a lot of unnecessary damage being taken. Man, Febby's getting owned at bottom lane. He's like bottle crowing as a safe lane farmer.
Yeah, there was already 1 Shadow Dance dive. You can see it's on cooldown, and he managed to use the Ensnare to actually save himself there. But yeah, until he gets that bottle back, he can't get anywhere close to the Slark. And MP's actually been arrowed while invis off to the side, so this looks like he's going to be okay.
Moonlight Shadow was even used as well to kind of help these supports maybe rotate in. They're actually smoked up, so maybe the Moonlight Shadow was just used for himself, but they're not going to get anything out of this. But it looks like MP just going to back off. He's got 2 bottle charges, which he probably wants to use pretty soon, and Well, all things considered, MVP just looking pretty good here with Slark dominating the bottom lane, doubling up on the Doom CS practically. And well, no, maybe not quite doubling up, that's an exaggeration, but a good 13, 14 CS ahead of him. Now the neutral... Oh, no. March messes up that neutral stack. What are you doing, March? Get your head in the game.
And these tri-lane heroes on top are really going to be fodder for the Slark as we move into the mid game. Unless they, unless these supports find a lane to be able to sit around and grab some levels. Even the Axe is a little bit underleveled if you compare him to this Slark. And yeah, Slark's already on the move. Forev's got his treads. He's ready to start hunting for some pickoffs here.
Yeah, I think... Well, he's TP'd back, so yeah, he's going to pounce his way towards his top lane. It looks like he wants to go head to where he initially got his first 2 kills. It's the tri-lane. And yeah, I don't think there's much need for him to stay bottom. Like, he can farm, sure, but he can offer a lot to his team to come to these fights. And like him with a Vlad, he may just leave this lane at the same time. You give this Vlad's aura to a Slark, he's suddenly dealing out a lot more damage, not to mention getting the life skill and all that as well. So this is actually a pretty nice pickup coming the way of the Lycan, but it looks like he's going to leave the lane. Give it to the Slark. Slark, though, immediately spotted by an Observer Ward.
Yeah, but he knows it as well, so there should be a ping, should hopefully be some central wards coming up. Meanwhile, mid.
You will. That was a Doom as well being used. The Slark finds nothing top, but they do find something mid. Meanwhile, whoa, they went in top lane. They did end up going in. They almost killed the Rubik. The Grave going to keep him alive. There's a glimpse back. Febby will finish him off. One last right click. Now Jayu, he's used his Grave. That means he's just straight up dead. He can't get the kill, and Axe could be in trouble as well. Caught in the Thunderdome. Forev wants this one. There's no Culling Blade, and as a result, triple kill for Slark. This guy, Forev, man. This is not a player that, when you say MVP Phoenix, Forev is not one of the names that comes to mind. Like, maybe you think Mart, maybe you think, like, QO or something, but it's definitely not Forev. But he's the big player here. Getting the kills, racking it up on the slot.
Yeah, and they saw him come top. I'm baffled at how that was a triple kill there. And, oh, Axe
wow,
TP!
Was that a glimpse home?
Yep.
That just sums up this game pretty well, in fact.
Yeah. 1-7, huge gold lead, huge experience lead. There is going to be the blink dagger on the bat shortly, so MP can maybe start moving around the map, making some plays for his team, but there's 3 heroes that are starting to look an awful lot like Deadweight, which is just this aggressive tri-lane top.
Yeah, we mentioned it being used. They're trying to engage somewhere. Is this going to be...
Well, Febby's getting chased, but...
Yeah, under the tower. A bit of trouble. Arrow not gonna... Oh, almost lands after he moves into the right here, but there's a TP coming in from Tembird. Febby. He's gonna get himself out of there. Forev wants to keep on chasing the Doom up in 5 seconds, but he's got no mana for it. He will now after the magic stick. Febby's gonna try TP out. One right click will do it though. Doesn't get it. The Shadow Wave helping out, although there wasn't any right click damage anyway, so he escapes just narrowly, and another kill to this Slack. 6-0 and 1 now. Oh dear. This isn't even close right now. Are you still there? I think you started cutting out a bit on Skype.
Have I?
Yeah. Oh, you're back now.
Radiant's
back.
bottom
Okay,
tower is under attack.
That Australian.
And Forev just diving towers.
Yeah, he's not done. He wants JU again. He's gonna pop the Grave, but they just kill him after the Grave wears off. No problem at all for Forev. Meanwhile, Lycan's just casually taking Roshan. QO now is gonna get fairly low here, but Sky, he's not level 6. No Killing Blade. The Doom does go out on Forev. He's in a bit of trouble. He wants to maybe finish off Sky. He wants this kill. And is he gonna get it? Batrider coming. He will get it. The Slug gets the kill before he goes down. That gives Doom a good 1k gold though. Well, Batrider. He's going to be in a bit of trouble here. Birdgang may lose MP in the mid lane. They're going to lose the Rubik. Tembird goes down to start things off. March pops the ultimate. He wants to go on Febby. The Ensnare going to keep Febby alive a bit longer. That was another glimpse back. The Dazzle TP'd in. Got glimpsed home. This Disruptor, man, he's just a menace this game. Although it looks like MVP may have overextended a bit this bottom lane. March is going to get chased down by the Batrider. He's got napalms on him. He's got the Aegis here, though, so he will respawn in a second. The Lycan Wolf's going to town on MP. MP needs to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage, and looks like he'll lose the Aegis, but it will be a clean retreat after losing the Aegis, at least.
The slow retreat. He doesn't have boots, but he's just going to go back in.
Good point.
Yes.
Oh, Arrow.
Oh.
Bye-bye, Tembird.
Well, that's not what you want to see if you're a Birdgang fan. And they're going to get the T1 tower off of this one as well, it looks like. There's no keeping this tower alive. Top lane is Axe trying to get some whatever farm he can. He actually went for an Urn of Shadows here, which is a kind of nice cost-effective item, but it's not really the best thing in the world. Meanwhile, Doom is going to go down. It looks like Febby caught out. No Doom available. He gets brought down by Forever. Now there's no Grave. Jayu's just going to straight up die to this. It looks like Slark just going to chase him down. He's got the Orb of Venom for the slow. He hits him with the pounce, gets another kill. TP in his sky. Does Forum get another kill? Oh my god.
Get sent back to top.
The Glimpse boys are here. Raisin with a third Glimpse return on a TP of the game. What madness. Absolutely crazy. And now
it's time for Mad Glimpse into Arrow. Can we do it? No, never mind. Never mind.
Lycan's just pushing bottom. He needs to be careful. Multiple TPs in. He has been invised up. Tembo just going to straight up die here. The Lycan wolves are there. The Doom not going to matter. He can Doom, but hey, he's still got the max move speed. I think he...
Circle the tower. Oh,
the
never mind.
Shapeshift is still got a good couple seconds on it. And Febby's just going to go down. March gets himself a double kill under the tower. Like, that was TP into feed. I think Birdgang are just on tilt right now. They may get a kill on March at bottom lane, but he's going to make sure he gets the tower in exchange for it. What an absolute disaster for Birdgang, though. They get the Lycan kill, but that is just such a small consolation prize.
Yeah, meanwhile, Serpent Wards get deployed top to be able to bring down the tier 1. There's some damage on the tier 1 mid as well, so MVP just accomplishing things all over the map, and they are so far ahead. And just, it goes to show how much that going for an aggressive tri-lane is actually a gamble. You know, nothing is guaranteed. Your execution needs to be really, really spot on. And when you get caught between the opponent's tier 1 and tier 2 towers, and, you know, wiped out at level 1, then that can be just game over straight from there.
He was calling for backup. He wants to get some kills here. Pouncing immediately doomed up. Is your Slark here? Meanwhile, the Mirana is going to get killed on Jayu. It's a double kill for the Disruptor. Comes in at the perfect time. Slark may even stay alive. It looks like he's actually going to tick over the Doom damage. Is this going to be enough? Meanwhile, the Doom is actually going to be okay himself. Meanwhile, Axe is actually in a bit of trouble here. Slark, he's still alive. He actually got kept alive for a bit longer. He does end up going down to the Batrider. Batrider coming in, maybe to chop Raisin as well. He gets lassoed up, cancelling his TP. Sky taking a lot of damage. Kua with the double Starstorm. He wants MP as well. Now, Lycan going to show up for the party as well. He's going to chase down Doom. Pops the Shapeshift. Chase him down. Right click. Chomp, chomp, chomp. One crit is going to maybe do it. Not going to come, though. Doom with the plus armor from the Buckler. No crits as well. And manages to just keep himself alive. Well... It's still like, even when Birdgang get trades, it just never feels like they're that good at trades.
They trade, but then the position on is in the exact same place.
Yeah.
I mean, MVP have been on the Radiant side of the map this entire game. March still not going for boots, is instead going to pick up his Necro 2. So, yeah, that's a build.
That's a 283 movement speed build. Oh, there you go, 305. Gets himself a bit more. Oh man.
Anyway, another pick off, Tinbird will be brought down. Another Moonlight Shadow. They've got the Shadow Blade, yeah.
Yeah, Shadow Blade is just going to town right now. He can just kill whoever he wants right now, forever. No problem whatsoever, and well... We'll see what Birdgang look to do. I don't think they can really stay in this game much longer if they just keep giving up kill after kill, and they don't really have an answer to this slot. Shadow Blade, drums, treads. He's well on top of the net worth, and he just has been on a tear this game. Absolutely unstoppable. And March, well, like you say, no boots. He's got his Necro 3 coming soon enough. And that's going to be pretty hard to defend against. They just haven't really got the items to farm there. MP's doing okay. He's got Blink and 4-star. He's actually 6-1. MP kind of, I don't know, showing the rest of his team up almost here with his play, but the rest of his team, the Axe, the Doom, just very unimpressive. Now in go MVP. Forev looking for a pounce to latch onto. Maybe it's gone Sky here. Does he go into the high ground? Thinks twice about it. It's the Doom on the front lines. He's actually popped the Doom on Qo. Will pay for it with his life, and Qo's still got plenty of HP to survive this one. Serpent Ward's on both sides of the map. It's actually got stolen by Birdgang, although it'll just get farmed up. It looks like the Batrider does finish off the Mirana, who was previously doomed up. Another pounce goes in, looking for Tembo. Not going to actually latch onto him, but here comes Sky. No Blink Dagger on him, and as a result, he's in all sorts of trouble. Glimpse back after a 4-star. He gets caught out in the connect field, brought down. Down goes your Thunderstorm, and Birdgang not going to find too much. They've still got the lasso here on your Batrider, but the 4-star on cooldown. Oh no, he's been caught out. There's no way out of this one. Slark gets another kill. Killing spree for Slark, but he is 13-2 this game. And we're just 15 minutes in. This Slark has gotten almost... He's been in 1 kill a minute. Not getting a kill a minute, but he's been in 16 kills in 16 minutes time. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yep. He's played really well. And we were talking about during the draft, like, oh, hey, Birdgang, with their lineup, they gotta... You know, they're not going to win late game. They got to get that mech up, and they got a 5-man, and they've got to close this out pretty quickly and get the blink dagger pickoffs and all of that. But they fell behind in the early game, and they just didn't really have the tools to recover at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they can really do anything from here. Tenbird still has the Serpent Word stolen, so nice little pickup for him. If they can get to a tower, they might be able to do something, but I don't know if MVP are even going to give them the opportunity. Potential Roshan respawn in about a minute, so that's going to be coming up pretty soon. Forev already working on his Scotty, and yeah, Birdgang just kind of sitting right outside of their base, trying to grab whatever scraps of farm turn up. But Bebby and MP going to go for a smoke, see if they can find a pickoff.
Yeah, they're just hoping for a pickoff and then get out of there, and they may find just that. Batrunner goes in, Blink, Lasso, and March, and March tuned up. There's an immediate glimpse back. This may actually keep March alive a bit longer. The Static Storm goes down. No, March taking too much damage. He'll take a fall. Is there any deny? No. Disruptor does get it. Takes him 2 right clicks, but he gets the deny onto March. Immediate buyback. That's... I guess they're thinking push, push, push. Slark on the backlines has been caught out a bit here. Forev looking to go in. He has popped the Shadow down. Keeping himself alive a bit longer. An arrow onto MP. That'll be the death of the Batrider. Nice ward trap coming up from the Rubik from the low ground, unfortunately. Slark Shadow Blades his way out of that one, and he's going to be okay following that one. JU using the wards to kind of cover him and hold him, keep himself alive. Puo now in a bit of trouble, taking a lot of damage here. Another ward's going down, this time from the actual Shadow Shaman. That's going to be another kill going the way of MVP. Make it 3 as they clear up the Dazzle as well. The chase is on. They want Tenbird. Puo wants Tenbird at least. Blink. I say leap, sorry, and then we're going to look for one more right click. Does get the last right click. It's going to miss on the high ground. Magic Stick maybe also being used to keep him alive. The chase. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing, Heen? Heen goes down. Dies to the Radiant. MVP just getting a bit too cocky, but it doesn't really matter, base skip.
Nope. Yeah, he can go in ham, but just doesn't really matter at all. Wolves and Necrobook already chipping away at the tier 2 towers. Look at this thing melt! Glimpse. Yeah, and another glimpse. This poor Axe. He's wasted a lot of gold on TP scrolls this game.
Yeah.
I think at one point his net worth actually went backwards as well, so he's been a bit sad.
Tough life. Tough life indeed. And now Roshan respawning in 10 seconds. So MVP, not really around the Roshan, but I'm not sure how much they care about waiting for this Roshan. They may just think, hey, look, we're just so far ahead, we can just keep taking fight after fight and push after push. And look at just QO's farming on 200 HP at bottom lane alone. Like, this is just absolute cockiness. It's going to be a Blink Lasso mid lane. That's a dead Slark. Nice pick off, but ultimately, I don't think that really matters.
No, and it just makes MVP feel super safe to just go into Roshan, I think. And I think Heen scattered it out as well. So, things looking okay. March is actually just going to continue pushing top lane.
He's got boots.
Finally. Finally here.
Gonna pop his Necrobooks here, so about to say, popping the Necrobooks suggests he wants to go for a kill. He'll immediately burn up all the Axe's mana, but as soon as he sees 2-3 heroes behind him, looks like he will back off. No, he's gonna keep pushing out a little bit. Creating space for his team to maybe go into the Roshan pit. He could TP to join up with them, and he'll do just that. He'll go into the Roshan pit with them, and this will be a pretty easy, uncontested Roshan, I imagine, for MVP team. They've got the Serpent Wards. They're not even going to use them here, it looks like. They'll just go for the much more clear cut, right click him down, arrow from afar. Could be pretty easy Roshan.
Yeah, and Birdgang, not really much of a consolation prize for them in the meantime. Just gonna try and grab a little bit of farm. MP's still doing quite well, working his way towards a BKB, so he's not really gonna have to care about the Disruptor past this point, but MVP, they hold all the cards. They've got 6 minutes of Aegis, so they could farm for 4 minutes and finish some items if they wanted to. I don't really think there's any reason to, but I guess Manta's really close on the Mirana. There's a couple of other items here and there that they could look to finish up before heading onto the high ground. And we'll see. You said it was cocky a little bit earlier, and I guess this is going to be the test, right? Are they going to try and... Do they feel that there's any chance that they could lose the game here? And it looks like the answer is no. They're just going straight in.
I don't think there is. Yeah, I mean, losing this game would require some, like, feed after. They would have to throw like a good 3-4 team fights in a row. Because even if Birdgang win like two 5-man team wipes in a row, like how do they actually win this late game? Like they're not going to scale well at all. Slark in the mid lane, glimpse back immediately used to break the lasso, and Slark's going to be okay here. He just needs a bit of cover fire, and he will get it from the connect build. And Doom wasted. Now the push should be pretty straightforward. Tempo taking a lot of damage from the Star Storm. That'll push him back. He almost goes down here. The Grave going to keep him alive. And Heen, once again, Heen going ham. This guy really pushing the limits here. But right now, MVP all getting fairly low. They haven't really got anything to heal them up. They've got like no mech, no urns. Just, I don't know, manning up, I guess. They'll go high ground regardless,
Radiant's
maybe.
middle tower
Yeah,
is
no
under attack.
Doom and no Lasso. This is definitely the time to push up onto the high ground. That was really nicely played, but the Stark just got the Dark Pact off by Sky.
The glimpse as well cancel. Well, it was there as well. So even if he doesn't get the Dark Pact, the glimpse would have helped out as well. Now they breach the high ground at top lane. They've got the pick off on the Axe. Axe immediately going to buy back. Moran actually goes down to the Dazzle Poison. Static Storm kind of zoning out a lot of these heroes here. Surfmords gets dropped. Don't want to let that Rubik steal him. He has not managed to do so. And Forev pops a magic wand, keeps himself alive a bit longer. He's on the chase here. He's got an Aegis though anyway, so he'll be okay regardless. Turns around to help finish off the Doombringer. 3-for-1. He'll pop the Aegis. Raxes will take a fall. And MVP, 22 minutes in, they've got their first set of Raxes, and there's just really nothing Birdgang can do at this point. They've got a Blink Lasso, but
Radiant's top
I don't
barracks
really feel
has
that's going to
fallen.
offer them too much then. Any way to really get back into this game.
And MVP, back off, grab any items they want, and come back in front of the lane of Rax.
I don't know about this one. That was another glimpse. Canceling the
Dire's
lasso.
bottom
So,
tower is under
okay.
attack.
this Disruptor pick has been huge. It's been so worth its while.
Yeah, and very nicely played as well. I think every Static Storm, every Kinetic Field has been really on point from Risen this game. There was even a really nice Static Storm mid when 3 heroes were just sitting up on the hill, no Kinetic Field, but the Batrider had his Blink Dagger off cooldown, and he just dropped the Static Storm, canceled the Blink, and they all walked away without a lasso catching somebody and forcing a fight. So he's been really on point.
Forev going to find the Doom here. He gets doomed up, but he may get the kill regardless. No, he's going to decide against these. So he's going to get chased down here now. Ensnare is there, and goodbye, Slark. I mean, that's cockiness coming in. We talked about the cockiness. It's still there, but they're not losing this game. It's just not an option.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that they're not being more disciplined given what's at stake. I mean, this is a trip. You win this best of 3, you get a trip to, massive land finals, right? Isn't it? Or is this?
No, this is only one Korean team goes, so there'll be a grand final.
Oh,
This is only a
right,
bracket
right.
Final.
True.
Right.
I'm just thinking about the format of the Chinese qualifier as well. Okay, so this isn't quite
two
that
teams
just
qualifying.
yet. Yeah.
No. But you'll be in the grand
Close.
final, so you'll
Yeah.
play. I don't know if there's a winner bracket advantage in the grand finals as well. I have to check with Starladder on that one, but if you get a winner bracket advantage, winning this series definitely is a pretty big deal. And there's gonna be a smoke coming up from Birdgang. They want Cure, but immediately Manta's leaps. And once again, this Disruptor's just always there with the perfect kinetic field. I don't see many people play Disruptor this well. Like when you play it this well, it really justifies a high priority pick. Jayu gets hit by a 5-second arrow. That's a definite kill on the Dazzle. And that means no Graves, no heals in this fight. Batrider in all sorts of trouble. Will get brought down by the life, and it looks like one more right click. He forces us out of the MP. Heen! He finds him with the Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, it looks like the Axe goes down to the middle of things. Tempo now being chased down. A few more right clicks finish him off. 4 for nothing. Doom the only one left standing. And Febby, he can just sit and watch from his own base as his team just get melted in the Radiant jungle.
Yeah. Did you go
GG.
next?
It's been that way for a while. There was no turning this game
Radiant's
around, and it
bottom
was.
tower is under attack.
This was one of the worst showings I've seen from Birdgang, and I say that because I've seen them play a lot better than this. And this was just surprising how much MVP walked all over them. Like this is not the Birdgang we normally see.
Well, I think it was just with the way that they, the draft plus what happened in the first 2 minutes of the game. That was already. I think that was pretty much already game over right there. Your aggressive trial lane gets wiped out. You can't put pressure on the Lycan like you want to, and they didn't really have a chance of winning it by dragging it out and going late game either. Plus, 2 out of 3 lanes were wins for Birdgang. Well, just because of that, what happened up top. So, well, wins for MVP. Sorry, but anyway, so gonna have to see if Birdgang can turn things around. Maybe go for something a little bit less cheesy, I guess. Something a bit more standard. Maybe don't go
Yeah.
for the aggressive tri lane. See if they can turn things around in game 2.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Speaking of game 2, what's going to be coming up next, guys? We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it will be game number 2 of MVP Phoenix up against Birdgang. Don't go anywhere. It's Gods and Base Skip, and we'll be bringing you more Korean Dota action after a short break. Stay tuned.